We're moving. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Delegate Jackie Glass here, Mama Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District. Honored to serve. That is real. Like all the time. I know it's been a pretty interesting week. So let's do a rundown for those of y'all who are new to the spot. Um, I am in session. I'm gonna put quotes, air quotes. I'm in session, but I'm definitely at home. I'm in session, but at home. Just for situational awareness, if you don't follow, I am a delegate. I am state representative for a piece of Norfolk. I represent about 84,000 Virginians. That's because we have maybe it's more than that. It's 84 to 86,000 Virginians because our population is 8.6 million thereabouts, and we have 100 delegates. That's divided by 10. We each get about 84,000 people in Norfolk, which is Southeast Virginia. How I love. Good morning, Miss Charlene. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Media Grays. Oh my goodness. Hey, so I will see you today. I will see you today. 1000% I will see you today. It's just been a back and forth. I'm talking to you, Media Grays. I like that you changed. I think you changed your name, but Grand Rising. So I represent this portion, my little 10% of Virginia's down in Norfolk. And every year at the beginning of year is when we go to do our lawmaking. So the first Wednesday of the year, every single lawmaker, whether they're a senator or delegate, have to go to our capital, our state capital. And I'm going to do this because I feel like I'm playing with y'all with this dirty. Y'all got to tell me if this camera's dusty. Maybe I just need to get a new camera, or maybe it's just me. Or maybe it's just me. Okay. So every January we go to the cap. We do our lawmaking. So because it is a short year, because it is a non-budget year. So like if you were to do your house budget, let's say like one year you do the big budget for your house where you itemized everything. You start fresh with everybody's fresh new ideas. The next year you keep that same budget. You just make little changes to it, tweaks to it here or there. And then the next year you start fresh with a new budget. We do that. That's how Virginia operates. So that's why we're in a short year where we're just making changes to our pocketbook, to our budget. So we'll be here for 45 days. But because there was water, pretty much the IT system for the water in Richmond is out, y'all kaput. And I just want to say, it's kind of triggering, as a kid, sometimes we didn't have water or we didn't have hot water. And it was like, I don't know why. I was like, I felt stressed and I was trying to put on a happy face, but I was like, why do I feel like internally so stressed? Because it like took me back to my childhood for a second, like not having water or having to boil your water or having to, some people have boilers in their houses. And so like having to use, for us, like it was like having to use the stove to heat the house and stay in the kitchen. So it was yesterday was both a day of gratitude for me being in Richmond because I'm grateful to be in spaces and places where I do have the ability, but I recognize there are a lot of Richmonders and people in Henrico and Hanover that don't have formula for their kids, that can't necessarily shower, don't have water, or don't have heat because their apartment building have boilers. So y'all, we just send, I'm not a hearts and prayers person, but I'm hoping, I'm sending efficiency to the city to get this back up and running, and also lessons learned so that it doesn't happen again. We've got to take care of our critical infrastructure, y'all. We got to take care of our critical, that's water, that's electricity, that's all of that. So just keep that in mind. I know that I've been watching other electeds sort of talk about it, and I was like, I was so disappointed that they didn't focus on the fact that we got real people actually working in conditions where there's no heat and living and Anyway, I'll say let me say my response is definitely a trauma response from my childhood. And I probably overly was frustrated with other folks of privilege for the way they're handling or talking about this situation, because I was a kid that sometimes didn't have those things, but I sure know how to make, you ain't got electricity, I know how to make the house run with your car. So you become MacGyver, I guess, when you don't have certain things. All right, so that's why I'm not in Richmond and I'm back home. And I'm happy to be home, but also the way my work is going to be set up is I'm still going to take all my meetings and things that I would have done before session starts, because y'all, when we gavel in, it's like literally a gavel in at noon every day, Monday through Friday, to get to work. So that's really cool. I was going to say, so remember, if this is your first time joining the Morning Dew for Certified Doers Just Like You, this is your opportunity to ask me all the questions, all the comments, all the things that you want. I could sit here and be a talking head, but really it is your opportunity to share space and or inform me on things that are happening. I am 1,000% informed. I'm gonna take off my glasses for a second on what happened in Booker T. Washington High School. I got the videos, so if you're one of those people out there waiting for me to respond to that, I'm trying to figure out how to respond to what happened in the high school the other day in a way that hopefully is helpful and empathetic. A while ago, I did a live with a bunch of teenagers and with a bunch of high school and middle schoolers, not a bunch, I did 3. And the common theme was they just wanted to feel safe at school. And I realized that is a challenge for us all. What does safe look like? What does it feel like? And I'm actually appealing to the public. We need some help. We need some new ideas. We need some help, because whatever is happening right now, it's not working, especially based off of the pretty significant fight that happened. And being a principal is a hard job. So my heart goes out to the principal who was also, embroiled in all of the things that happened, and to the police that have to respond to children. We forget about that. Like, when the police have to show up to a school, that's them having to respond to children and hoping that they respond in a way that is empathetic, firm, and fair, if that makes any sense. So for the rest of the week, I don't go back to Richmond until Monday. So I'll probably leave on a Sunday night, just because we'll have an early day. If you don't know, the first day of session for us every year, the governor does what's called a State of the Commonwealth, where the governor sort of gives this wrap up of where Virginia is or whatever. And I have to make sure I'm on point, because I sit right in the camera view, and I didn't learn this until the first year. That matters, y'all. You can't be in the paper looking like this. I'm already halfway. So no, anyway, that's neither there. But the governor gives a State of the Commonwealth where he, no faces. Listen, I be trying. P. Esquire, I think that's what it says no faces. I'll try. And my husband says, fix your face, girl. Sometimes I'm working on that. But it's also really cool to watch the State of the Commonwealth, because it's the room. What happens is the House chamber becomes the space for it's a joint convening. So not only is the House of Delegates in the room, the entire Senate is in the room, and the entire governor's cabinet is in the room. So it's really I think it's a really a cool experience. And I love it. I think, oh, it's Patrice. Hey, an important part of this system, girl. Important part of this system. But I love to look around the room. I'm telling you, I love to see it. It's just like I don't know. It's something you hold in your hands, where sometimes, y'all, I'm like, I don't even know how I got to do this. How did I get here? What am I doing here? But I will make sure that I debrief you all very well on what's happening. So that's going to happen Monday morning at 9:30. I think I have to be there at 9:00, but that's a good check-in. If you haven't gotten a chance to, I think if you got a chance to watch yesterday, I submitted almost all of the legislation that I wanted to submit for this session. So I still have until I'm going to say until Friday, until tomorrow. I'm giving myself a deadline to tomorrow, but I believe it's shifted to Monday to pick. I think I could do maybe one more idea, maybe to put on my list of things. So if you got something real good that you think you like, look, y'all need to make a state law, then let me know. In the interim, while I'm in Richmond, if there's anything, I mean anything, y'all drop a DM like, Jackie, tell us more about this. I've been doing this this is my 22, 23, 24. So this is my fourth session, right? And this is the fourth time that I'll be walking you through, like you'll get to see, I'll try to give you all the ins and outs, behind the scenes things, but also we come from a place of educate, advocate, celebrate, legislate. Like that's always that's our baseline. We start with education. But if you think like there's something elusive or something that you're curious about with the state government or while we're up there in Richmond, just drop me a line and I'll make sure that I share it, right? You want to see what the coat closet look like? Cool. I was thinking about doing a segment that's like conversations in the coat closet and just wait for people to come to the coat closet wait for people to come to the coat closet to talk to me. So I see I have a question and I'm pulling up my list right here because I kind of need that list in order to tell you. It gets really, sometimes I forget. Not even kidding. We're carrying so much, baby, because it's a short year. I can only carry 15 pieces of legislation, but that's about how I like to stay at, between 12 and 15 at the most, 15 at the most. But I'm opening it up because Beth asked me, great work. What legislation did you submit? I'll roll through that really quickly because I did do a live that should be still up on Instagram. I mean, not on Instagram, on my Facebook page. I think it's still up. That I went through live and hit submit on all of the legislation that I have. So what legislation did I submit yesterday? You ready? Let's go. So first, I did a bill called, it's a creative care and creative economy grant to expand the eligible projects for project eligibility for Go Virginia funding. If you have never heard of Go Virginia, it's Growth Opportunity Virginia. It is a grant program that is broken our state down into regions, and they fund all kinds of projects. And so I'm making it so that some of that funding can include care, economy, creative economy businesses that directly support the sectors that are identified in whatever that region's growth and diversification plan. That's a really important one to me. I submitted a bill for a highway corridor and resiliency. So what I'm trying to do is revolutionize the way that we do transportation and resiliency together, because I'm tired of flooded roads here in Norfolk. So the projects would be financed and managed in Hampton Roads by creating these two programs. We create these two programs that and the funds would focus on improving the highway corridors, but also performing some of the coastal resilience and flooding stuff. So I'm excited about that bill to hopefully get in a place where, we ain't got no more flood we ain't flooded as much. I did a child labor for children engaged in work on like social media or content creation trust account. So what happens is you have children that have parents are very adamant about them participating in social media, benefiting financially, and then there's no gain for that child. That's why we have child labor laws. So bringing a child labor law here to say that if you have your child engaged in social media, that they become an employee, essentially. So there's a trust account that you have to build for them in order to, at a certain age that you have to build for them if they're working as an employee on your social media. I have a bill that is for Consumer Protections Division of the Attorney General's office to build out what is called an alert system for scams. So what I've seen happen is I've seen young people, I've seen elders, I've seen all kinds of people get scammed, and there's no one way to widely sort of notify people that a scam is very prevalent. So like even with college students, there was this huge scam going on where they were being told they have a job and then told to go do that. Like it's like, how does so many people get affected? So I just want to make an alert system the same way that we do the same that we do, Amber Alerts or things like that. I'm trying to keep money in people's pockets. I'm tired of people losing their life savings or even just a little savings that they got to get by because other folks out here, scammers, trying to do some prohibiting of algorithmic anti-competitive practices. So people working together to what do you call it? People working together with algorithms to make you pay more, like to make sure that you pay more. No, thank you. So then I have a law enforcement bill that speaks to certain technologies, interrogation practices, and forensic labs. So what I'm trying to do, y'all, because I believe that technology does help us in solving crime, right? It's an important, good morning, Jimenez. Good morning, Mr. Little. I didn't see all that. So I believe that technology is an important key to being able to do faster, smarter, all that things. But what this bill is going to do is going to set some ground rules for emerging technologies by law enforcement. So it's going to require this, it's called DCJS, the Department of Criminal Justice Service, to create these model policies to just say, hey, look, here's the standard by which we think you should be using these and procedures for conduct, with everything from using technologies to interrogations to use of AI and machine learning, and again, surveillance technology. It also creates sort of an improved list for forensic equipment. Y'all have police departments out here that are turning into crime labs, like forensic labs, and they don't have that. We cannot muck up the science. Like, that's the deal. It's like, you cannot, science has to be trusted, and that any forensic equipment for local and state law enforcement use is going to require some, like, a level of a certification for them. Excuse me, proofs of that. I'm making sure for the law enforcement to obtain forensic accreditation, which makes sense, right? If you have the equipment and we say that it's perfectly okay for you to use it, there should be a standard to which you use it. And the last thing is, like, I just want the police not to lie to minors, period. Like, I want to prohibit, like, I do not think that we should be able to lie to people under the age, I think under the age of 25, but under the age of 18, the police should not be able to lie or false statements of leniency. No. Like, no. We have this culture where we tell folks to trust the police, and then a child goes into a room with a police officer who then lies or misleads them. But they're of the thought process that police are the good guys. And that is not a false statement, right? There are great, just like educators, just like lawmakers, but I don't think I don't think it should be standard practice to lie to children in interrogations. So there's that. Then I have a digital right to repair that ensures that consumers can access diagnostic features of their devices and the tools necessary to repair the equipment that they own. That's your cell phone. That's an independent car dealership. That's your tractor trailer. That's your HP computer that they be trying to lock up the software so that you can't do. We have an economy where big companies want us to lease everything. You buy a printer, like there was a story of a woman who bought an HP printer, but when she changed the ink for lesser quality, they shut her damn her printer down. Do you hear me? She couldn't use her printer because she didn't have OG HP printer ink. That's crazy. Like, I bought that printer. I'm not leasing that junk. So yes, hey Candy, good morning. I see you there. And I see Beth said, yes, technology is so important, but it's imperative that laws keep up with tech. Yeah, and we're not moving fast enough. And that's the nature of the beast. We only convene once a year. So that's why it's important for us, that particular law that you're referencing. It's important for us that the agencies also get on board, because the agencies are working much more than we are, right, on the clock that they are creating. So we're empowering them to say, hey, you got to stay on this, because everything doesn't need a law. Sometimes it just needs a policy. Delegate Munden King said, and now they want to sell you a prescription. Yeah, we are in a lease economy. They want to lease you everything. So, like, thinking about the John Deere tractor trailer folks who they want to just I'm using this as an example, but I can't remember what the exact thing was, but I'm going to use a spark plug. Like, the guy wanted to replace a spark plug, which is something that I could do on my own car. It's not even a thing. He wanted to replace the spark plug, and they shut his tractor down through the tech to make sure that he couldn't. Like, that's a simple task. And so then you got to pay. He's like, rather than me paying $100 for a part, now I have to pay the $100 for the part, $500 for them to unlock it, because that tractor doesn't belong to me. I'm leasing it to them. So that's where we're at. It's like we are truly in a lease economy, and it ain't okay. So there's that. That's the right to repair, that you have the right to repair your own stuff. And if there's someone who can repair it, that you don't have to go back and immediately devoid your warranty. And I get that part. There's some things there, but anyway, we're working on it. We're doing our thing. The other bill that I put in was for foster care notification for military benefits. We have children that lose their parents, And I'm starting with military benefits, and I'm hoping to go over to SSDI, right? Death benefits. And what it'll do is it'll protect survivor benefits from being taken from the Department of Social Service, to ensure that that foster child or their guardians or advocates are at least notified of available benefits. And if the Department of Social Services applies for them, they let them know that the benefits are being spent on their behalf. And we want them to just create a trust account, at least when that child turns 18, that they start getting that money. We have right now Department of Social Services across the country that are applying for death benefits for children, and then using that as, hey, you make it a great day. I love you. Set your intention. But you can't control it. They're applying for and the kids don't even know. So this whole time they're in foster care, and that's not standard practice. If a child that is not a military child, or not a child that is eligible for SSDI, and I'm gonna just speak to the military death benefit, because that's what we're working on first. We're starting there, but those children don't get their benefits applied for them and taken away. I just think it's wild. So when these kids turn 18, right, when they become, I call them underage adults, when they become underage adults, they are out of the system with nothing, when really there was something in place like a death benefit to ensure that they were able to at least start out on their feet. So we can't be doing that. I think that is wild. But also we got a whole issue with the foster care system. Yeah, so true. With the right to repair stuff. I'm with you. Poetry Jackson. Then I have a bill on automated driving cars, y'all. For the first time, this is first for Virginia. We'll have we're going to create a pro innovation framework for licensing and regulating. They're called level 1 through level 5 because there are certain levels that automated driving systems work on for in Virginia. So that's what we're working on there. Because why do I keep saying stop? Because automated driving systems are coming. No joke, they're coming. They are coming. Hold up. I just lost my page. Oh, everything just went down. There it is. And then we have the benefits clip subsidy program. So I'm creating this bill that I have is supposed to, create a phased reduction in childcare subsidy benefits. So as a person's income rises, we'll just take a little bit of the benefit away to make sure that we're not penalizing people for making more money, because that's what we're doing right now. That 41 cents, and I think if you're on here with me yesterday, that 41 cents a minimum wage made someone lose a whole benefit, whether it was housing, childcare, or food, just because they made 41 cents more. And what I'm saying is that doesn't help people get economic freedom, that we have to stair step them off these benefits so that they no longer are on the government subsidy or the sub-government benefit. Some people don't want to be. They're like, I would do it, but like, it is not worth it to make a penny over and lose all my health care, or lose all my housing voucher. It isn't worth it. So they are forced into voluntary impoverishment, right? Like, I'm just going to stay po because I can't take that raise and I can't take that new job. So that's real. So that's that program. And then I'm gonna get to cousin Eight's question as soon as I get through all of the bills. Then I have a teacher compact where we are just saying that in Virginia, we want to get into an interstate compact. There's already other states in it for teacher mobility, allowing teachers to move into member states. So if the compact has 25 states. If a teacher moves to any one of those states, they can come to that state and almost immediately just start teaching. They still are going to have to get to our licensing requirements. I think it's either 3 or 5 years. I got to make sure I reread. I keep saying this. In between 3 and 5 years, they'll have to do our license, meet our requirements. But initially, they can come and get to work. Period. Right. And then I've got a bill about higher ed data, just syncing all of that up right now. Like the way Virginia Beach has data is different from Norfolk, which is different from Chesapeake, the way they house and calculate things. And then all of them take their data and they send it to the Department of Education. And the Department of Education has to decipher that to get statewide data. We're saying like we need to be on a unified system so that one, we can tell learner outcomes in real time, teacher outcomes, absentee, grade, all of these things in real time from K all the way through college, because we've started this piece from college to the college process. I think high school to college, but we're trying to put more into that so that we can track data. And then I have the massage therapy compact, which is saying the same thing, that if a masseuse is from one place, that they can come here, get to work, and then move from there. And move on from there, same thing. So compact, I'm waiting. I may have one more bill. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just trying to figure out my life for real, what I want to do. So that's the stuff. Good morning, Ryan Daniel. My daughter is interested in finding a job. Okay, Jimenez says, good morning. My neighbor, my daughter is interested in finding a job, also needs to know about student programs. Okay, here's what I need you to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my email in here, deljglass@house.virginia. If I could spell, y'all. If I could spell .gov, hit me up so that I can give me the scope of what you need so that we can answer your question. Okay. I want to make sure I answer your question. I did. I said good morning to Mr. Little. I said good morning to Miss Charlene. Good morning, NNS. Good morning, Brian Daniel. All y'all. Good morning. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Answering some questions over here on Instagram. I can't show Instagram up on the screen. It's a weird thing where they haven't integrated fully yet with the program that I use. So Cousin Ed, can we find a way to investigate schools like ODU that charge 25% penalties for students for debts? Schools are ostracizing students that come from marginalized background. We need to connect on that. I wonder if that's standard practice. I'm not sure, but let's look into it. 25% penalties for student debt. That's like a 25% interest rate on student debt. Put in the chat if you know. Hey, Mr. Neurospace LLC. I love that. Mars, I found your card in my pocket. You gave me a little card, and it gave me a little, in a moment I actually needed, like a positive affirmation. Jackie for Senate, nope, not right now. Not interested. Not interested. Not right now. I'm taking it 2 years at a time because that's my term. While I am so grateful to do this, I think that we always have to leave space for people to come in that are living in the world and that are not bogged down in this work. So I'm here. I'm on the ballot. So I will be not on the ballot yet. I got to get signatures, but this is an election year for me. So we will be in the streets. If you are a certified doer that want to connect with us, I love election season. It's a love-hate because I enjoy that it's the time that people want to engage, even though like I'm always here, like, yo, let's engage. But it's a time where people want to engage. It's a time where people are like, where you been at? And I'm like, yo, I've been here. Where you been at? And it's a time to just connect with my neighbors for real. And so we'll be after session getting down on it, getting back on the grind to let folks know about state elections. Because if I'm being the truth of the matter is that state government matters so much. It matters so much, especially since we're a Dillon rule state, which means your county, your city, your town can't do a goddamn thing unless the state gives them the power to do so. We're also the middle child. Okay, J. Cole, right? I'm stuck in two. You know, we're also the middle child with the federal government. While the federal government may pull down finances, pull down things, like we get to disseminate, right? There's a lot that state government does. And I also feel like as a real life middle child, sometimes it gets understated. Like, don't nobody, like, that's my oldest child, that's my youngest child, that's my oldest baby, that's my youngest baby. And then here go Jackie. Right? Like, that's real. So there's so much good work we do, so much good opportunity. I'm going to encourage you all, if you've never heard of state boards, commissions, and authorities, there are so many of them for you to get involved in. I'm here for it. I think you need to do it. What else? Oh, thank you. Awesome on work. Thank you. Thanks for asking. So cousin, it says, yeah, if you owe 4K, they charge you another one. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, we got to chop it up about that. We got to chop it up. And maybe there's a phone call that we can have later today. I think my schedule will sort of pause around noon. So put a pen in that, please, before I go back. And just that, so that I'll be able to ask the questions, because I have to I do have to, be an asking penguin about these sort of things. Mar says, I will sign and get others too as well. We got to throw. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Let's throw an event. I love it. I do. Here's what I think is different about the events that we do. And I'm proud of this because I believe in it. My goal, typically when I'm doing events, especially in the community, is to make sure that people meet people they would never ordinarily meet. Because I get to move in a lot of different circles where people are just like dumb wealthy, circles where people are dumb not wealthy, circles where people are, people rich, circles where people are people poor, like creatives, business people, like and everything in between. Like, I think that this work becomes less stressful when more people are connected. And so it is always a beautiful thing to me to see somebody in a $1,000 suit in their room with somebody with $1,000 grill. You know what I mean? Or that could be the same person. I love that. I think that our cities are getting away with things because people are not connected. And what ends up happening, our city and our commonwealth, quite frankly, they get away because we divide ourselves, and then we wind up with the same problems. So I'm here for it. I am excited about connecting people and curating events. Right? Curating. It is about putting the right people in the room and also dispelling bias, like getting rid of bias about the person in the $1,000 suit and the person in the $1,000 grill or sneakers, right? Like getting rid of that bias and connecting on some real stuff. So like, I am all here for events as long as we make space for people to come as they are. I don't want a gala. I don't want to, I'm not saying this to you, Mars. I'm just saying this out loud to myself. Like, this is my thought process, is that I love to do things where people can just come as they are. It's beautiful. Anyway, that's important to me. Heard. Got it. Okay. So Brian says, I hope Richmond can restore water soon. My niece lives there, graduate VCU, and my one younger cousins do. Her little boys live there. Her young boys live there too. Yeah, same. Y'all, like, really, it sounds like it's for play, but people are really going through it right now there hasn't been water since Tuesday, I think, or in the stores. And it's a trickling effect, because I went to the grocery store while I was in Richmond. It was one of the first things I did, because gotta eat. And I think it's a beautiful thing, because I couldn't eat out because the restaurants aren't open. It's not sanitary to have be open without water. But the woman at the cash register was just exhausted. She was exhausted. She's like, it's been slammed all day, and guys like, and you've been on your feet, please, sis, where's your water? And she looked at me. She's like, it's in the break room. I'm like, you need to get your water. You got to hydrate. You got to take care of yourself because it don't look like it's going to slow down up in here. But we are hoping that and sending our gratitude out to the people that are like making sure that folks have water. Like I said, a friend of mine was telling me yesterday, they were making sure that their employees had water and trying to find places for them to stay because their apartments had boilers, so there was no heat. It's a real thing. So we're hoping for the best and some lessons learned. This is an unavoidable thing, right? When the snow and it was just a series of unfortunate events that could happen anywhere. Quite frankly, it could happen in India, it can happen in Norfolk, but we got to take care of our critical infrastructure. So, trying. Patrice says, you all do. Thank you for your work. Man, we do. We try. Okay, so this is it, y'all. Morning dew, only supposed to be 30 minutes. I went 5 minutes over. Got to kill that because when I get to Richmond, I ain't going to be able to do no 5 minutes over. I'm going to have to cut it because a lot of times I have a committee meeting at 7 or at 7:30. Actually, I do. I have a committee meeting at 7:30. So I know that is a thing that's going to be a thing for me. So I have some follow-ups to do. I have some gratitude to give. I will keep you guys along the way for this journey. Remember, do not forget to reach out to me if there's something you want to do. I heard confessions in the coat closet. That may be a thing. That may be a series. We'll see. We'll see if we can get some in there, mix it up. Again, I'm Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 93rd District. Honored to serve. I'm thankful for you and for you getting up this morning and spending this time with me. It's not a game. It's not a game to start your day doing. So let's go. Thank you for the ripple effect and the string of pearls that you're going to make this week. Thank you for saying yes to you, for all the different things, right? Many hands make light work, and that's not a small thing. Some of you I'll see later on today, and I hope you're well. Peace, chicken grease. Or peace out, Girl Scout. Peace out, Boy Scout. I don't know. Bye, y'all.